Hello and welcome to the stream. Today I'm doing a Flight 58 Flight Club and it is Australia, Lord Howe. We'll be visiting in the Cessna 172. We'll be doing a fly around the island and then doing a local tour around the Bowls Pyramid. Alright, let's get started. So, there's going to be a bit of background music as we make our tour through Lord Howe Airport. See a bit of the scenery. We're going to get in the aircraft, set it all up, and then we're going to take off. So, bit better day today compared to the last time I visited it. It was really bad weather. You could not see the mountains, and it was really poor visibility. So let's move on. So this is AUC's Australia Lord Howe. I think it was $9.99 UK British money. So I don't think it's too bad actually. It's quite immersive. There's not many sceneries out there that can cope with the detail that these guys have put in, but they've done really well. And believe it or not, even the headlights on these cars actually light up, which is quite interesting. So as we're moving around, the nice fancy tree work they've done here, we are moving up. We are moving to the small little airport, or airfield, depending on what you guys want to call it. So what we've got here, as you can see, they've put a lot of details into the signs here. Very HD. They've modelled it really great with fantastic PBR textures. So as we're moving around, we're not going through the side door, but we will take a look at this poster. So what we've got here is, let's have a look. Detailed quarantine information provided. The island. I don't know if this is up to date, so obviously it's going to be very rare that any of you guys have been to this island, but if any of you have, please put the comment what they mean with the quarantine. Is it with COVID-19 or... I presume it's not. I presume it's not actually reading the sign here. It says no plant material, no animals. So Australia, as you know, are pretty funny about having certain stuff from other countries coming in. So just make sure you scrub your shoes well. Well, you're nothing to scrub your shoes on here, but yeah, okay. Moving on. So as we move on, you see the guys telling us time. Fantastic modelling by AUC. The clothing's really cool on this guy. Everything's just modelled really well. But moving on to the phone. It is the largest 5G network, so they are in the modern day world. So, alright, departures. As we move through the entrance, and we'll not go through the queue system, we'll just go around. Again, fantastic modelling in here. This guy's really cool, not animated, but it's better when they're not animated. Personally, I think you can actually see the detail they've put in. This guy's from FS 2020, obviously the low textures by Microsoft. It's not actually done by AUC in this guy, but personally, I want to use this model. I would have put a clerk there, model just like them, to make it a bit more authentic. But yeah, we'll get out of this guy's way, and we'll just move around to the shop. Like I say, it's not a big airport. It's quite small really, but it's got some stuff in. And obviously they've got some fantastic crisps here. Lay's crisps, and obviously in the UK it's Walkers, for anybody who's wanted to know, Cheetos. But let's get some bits of music on. So as we're moving through the departures, we are heading to our aircraft. If you're wondering, we are doing a tour of the Lord Howe Island. I just thought I'd make it a more authentic experience for you guys to experience the scenery around this area. As we're moving round out of the departure door, we then come out to the nice garden of the departure lounge. There you go, Lord Howe's Island, how they pronounce it. Fantastic rock work here. I mean, that's just insane detail, unnecessary detail but insane. Fantastic AU scene. So, we're the pilot, so we can cross to board. So let's actually get to our aircraft. If there's any lag in the stream, guys, just please let me know. I know I mentioned it in the previous stream. I think it's not lagging for me, the simulator's running smooth. I presume it's the internet connection that's running a bit poor around here for me. I think it's 32 megabits per second, but there's not much you can do about it. You have to forgive me, the sound's swapping on the control for some reason. There we go, so I've just fixed the audio issue. So as we're moving down now, we are going to our aircraft, which is over there, which is the AV8, which we've got a nice new livery for our aircrafts. If you guys are interested in flying with us, this is not normally what we do. This is one that I'm just trying to get people to come in and join, or to have an interest in what we do. What we do is we do group flights. Right now we are on our Canada flight. The Canada flight is, there's currently an event happening now. It's called the River Run. So where we follow the rivers around the world. So that's quite interesting. As we're slowly making our way to our aircraft, you can see some animated cows there. That's another thing done by AU scene that's fantastic, that brings this world alive. So now as we're approaching the aircraft, just get a bit below. I'm actually in the 152, believe it or not. I've actually loaded the wrong aircraft up. Not even realised that. But I'll tell you what, we'll do it in the 152. In fact, I'll see if this will work. Just bear with me, guys. So we'll go back to the main menu really quick, because I do want to get in the right aircraft. We want to do it in the Cessna 172. So we've done this tour of the airfield. Like I say, it's only really small. There's still a lot of details around that I've not shown you that AU scene's done. But we'll get into the most important part, what you guys want, and that's to actually see the flights. So aircraft selection, G1000 liveries, pick our livery, and set as departure. I may have to change the time when I get into it. Right guys, welcome back, and we are in the Cessna. So let's turn the camera, and we are in the Cessna 172, and we will be doing basically just doing a sightseeing tour around Lord Howe. The last time we did this we could not see the mountains due to the weather, but this is, I'm happy to say it's changed, unless Microsoft Flight Sim changes weather again. There's a bit of cloud coming in, but it's nothing to be too concerned about. So let's get this stream going. Turn our master switch on. Avionics, you have to forgive me because it's a bit fiddly. Something with the zoom on Microsoft Flight Sim. We will not be doing GPS, so I will not be aligning the GPS, so if you guys are wondering. So mixture's already in rich. We'll turn our beacon on. Make sure nav lights are on, but ideally it's not always, it's not required to have the nav lights on if you don't have them. Sorry, not, forgive me, mistake. All aircraft have nav lights, but strobe lights, not all of them have them. So strobes are not necessary, but if you have them, it's ideal to use them. So right now we're going to start the engine, make sure that all the props are clear. I'm just jumping through the checklist really quick, so I don't want to bore you guys, but yeah. Clear prop, start the engine. Right, let's go. So the aircraft started, we're going to release the parking brake. We've already checked it's clear. And now we're going to get taxiing. Right, so you have to forgive me guys, I am using a Logitech panel, so it's set up for multiple different aircraft. And for the aircraft to move on this, I have to give it at least 85% throttle, otherwise it won't move on my Logitech panels for some reason. So we're going to ignore the taxi markers. We're just going to get onto the taxiway and do his thing. Right now I'm going to cut that throttle down. Just make sure everything's clear. So make sure I put our strobe lights on. Or taxi lights should have been on, strobe lights are on, turns landing lights off. Just bear with me guys, just waiting for ATC. Lord Howe traffic, Alpha Foxtrot Charlie 005, requesting line up and departure 28. Line up for departure, Alpha Foxtrot Charlie 005. So we've been given clearance, but regardless of clearance, you check left to right to make sure there's nothing under those wings, but I know there's not coming in because the traffic's all turned off. Let's just turn the aircraft. So as we're turning the aircraft slowly now, get a lot of right rudder, a lot of right braking, and let's line the aircraft up for takeoff. So as we're here now, we're ready to take off, so full throttle, or gradually ease the throttle, then full throttle, shall I say. So we're looking at roughly 70 knots, well, as soon as the aircraft starts lifting, so around about 65-70 knots, I feel comfortable taking off in this. It's around about there. It's a bit bouncy in the wind. So I'm going to get a lot of trim down. And we're climbing. So we've got full throttle on here, so we're on climb thrust. I'm trying to keep it up. So right now, we're climbing 400 feet a minute. 600, 650. Once we get to a safe altitude, we'll then level out and we will do our sightseeing tour of Lord Howe. Right, so just while we're leveling out, I'm going to get some views for you guys, but I'm going to put a bit about Lord Howe on.
Australia's Lord Howe Island remains blissfully remote. The 2-hour flight from Sydney to this UNESCO World It's no wonder Australia's Lord Howe Island remains blissfully remote. The 2-hour flight from Sydney to this UNESCO World Heritage Site deters many tourists, especially those who have already seen airtimes in the double digits. Plus, travelers who do make the journey are capped at 400 at any given time. Once there, active types can snorkel a colourful reef teeming with aquatic life in the scenic lagoon below Mount Gower, or join the turtles that idle on the cornmeal sand at Old Settlement Beach.
So right now, we're just getting to a point where I'm at a safe altitude. Unplug my headset, make it easy for me to talk to you guys while I'm flying. So right now we're slowly making our way over to Balls Island, which you can see over there in the distance. We're going to cut some of them RPMs because we don't want to overspeed the aircraft. So, Lord Howe is actually a volcanic island. It's quite an interesting little island. I mean, apart from it being a luxury island, I won't say there's really nothing there, apart from a small few houses over there, but there's really nothing to the island. It's not really habitable for me, when you look at it, because it's all mountain terrain. You've got your little, and actually most of the island is taken by the little airfield. So, I suppose it's a relaxing life if you want to really relax in life. Looking at the island, you don't even need a reason to have cars around there. But obviously, I've never flown to the real Lord Howe, so I'm not quite sure if there's anything that you guys know different to what I do. So right now we're just making a steady flight over to Balls Island. So, just so we're cruising over there, because it is still a bit of a distance away, let's get you a bit of history on Ball's Pyramid and what it is.
Ball's Pyramid is an erosional remnant of a shield volcano and caldera lying 20 kilometers southeast of Lord Howe Island in the Pacific Ocean. It is 562 meters high, while measuring only 1,100 meters in length and 300 meters across, making it the tallest volcanic stack in the world. Ball's Pyramid is part of the Lord Howe Island Marine Park in Australia and is over 643 kilometres northeast of Sydney, New South Wales. Steep and eroded, and formed 6.4 million years ago, Ball's Pyramid is positioned in the centre of a submarine shelf and is surrounded by rough seas, making any approach difficult.
So right now we are approaching Ball's Pyramid, and we're just leaving Lord Howe just slightly behind us. It's just so relaxing down here. There's absolutely no one around here at all. I mean, this is the first time that I've actually flown to this Ball's Pyramid since the update. They've recently updated it, fixed something on it. Apparently there was a bug, but I never saw it when I last time came here. So looking at the visibility, it's not too bad. So what we are going to do is, I am going to start a descent, a steady descent, and we are going to drop down and actually fly around the island. So we have got a bit of wind here. It's also affected the aircraft. And we've got 19 knot wind, so the wind has dramatically changed all of a sudden. That's what that little drop sink in there was. But not a problem, we just slightly adjust our trim. So I'm going to get a bit more power and get into the green. While maintaining our descent. Keep it ideally at minus 500 feet per minute. Will do us nicely. See, I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking at the stream now on my phone. It looks crystal clear, but it seems very laggy. Just let me know if your streams are the same. Now finally made it to Balls Island. I'm just going to do a quick fly around and see what we've got in the terrain, and then head back to Lord Howe, and then finally complete our descent and land into Lord Howe. detail on that rock work is actually quite good. Just be careful we're not too close to the rock. Don't want to hit the wing on it. That is fantastic. Should really go on the right wing just so we can keep it, but I suppose this is good enough. That is amazing. Let's get a lot more, bit more roll. Watch our pitch. Get a 30-degree bank angle. Try and get a bit more turn so we can get a bit more of the island. Obviously keep it 1,000 feet. Get a bit more throttle as we're in a turn. Trim it up so it doesn't sink. Now as we're going to be heading back to the island, Lord Howe. Oh, bit too much on the roll there. You can just see the detail there. So what we're going to do is now we're going to go full throttle. We'll not get slightly above the green because we want to get there quick. Control our pitch. I think that's why they call it Balls Island. I don't think it's that. I think it's because of that there. I think that's why it's called Balls Island. It's pretty interesting rock work there. Makes you wonder why, out of all this ocean, and then there's a bit of rock there. But let's get back to Lord's Howe. Clouds are fantastic. Obviously, got to take into account, guys, that the QNH or QFE will be different here. So I've not set it. I've got it set to 29.902. So right now it's just more about visual flying. So I'm not really following instruments. Ideally, I'm going to try and do this one visually for you guys, as it's a sightseeing tour. So as we're approaching Lord Howe, we're just seeing roughly how what the island is and what's it about basically. Right. water's so calm. So as we're approaching Lord Howe, we are now going to do a quick flyover of the basic part of the island, get some aerial views for you guys, and then we're going to come in and land at Lord Howe. And then we're going to taxi and park up right next to the cows. This delivery, if you're interested in joining us, we do have Discord. You can find us on, obviously you found us on the YouTube channel if you're watching this stream. We do have a Facebook page. So this livery, we've got custom blue for us, custom blue seats, and we've got a nice fancy dashboard with the Aviate logo there for you guys. So we do liveries for aircraft as well. Alright, let's go back to what this stream's about. Let's check out a bit of Lord Howe. The only thing is, I've got to complain about, I don't know if it's a Microsoft thing or AUC thing. I think the AUC is just focused on this area. If you can see the mouse, it's more near the airfield. But the rock work on that could have been improved dramatically. It looks very low texture, so I feel for the money that you pay, it's great that they've done that, but I feel like they could have done the whole island. Because there's not much, it's just water. I think they could have redone all the shorelines and everything and made them a lot more sharper here than just here. So I'm not shouting at AUC or Microsoft. It's just I'm unsure who's should have improved this, but that is the only thing that I can see that's the problem with the scenery. But if you're not too picky like me, but I try not to be too picky, I normally just fly with the sceneries that I do have. I'm somebody who's come from Explain Prepared Days and FSX, so you get used to scenery looking like that. But as we're climbing, I do want to watch out because it is getting a bit stormy around here. 21 knot winds, so that's getting quite high. I do want to remove some of that power and start our descent. So we need to try and lose the power so we can get some flaps and some ready for approach. So there you go, that's Lord Howe Airfield, or airport as you guys want to call it. There's actually a Qantas airplane just at the bottom there. And then we're just flying over the beaches now. Looks so relaxing, the island. We're not going to come in on the beach, we are going to come in through the ocean side, through presumably the northwest side. Let's get control of the aircraft now and let's get in and cut the revs down a lot more so we start losing the power. As soon as I can get the flaps in, I want to get 8 degrees stage of flaps, and then we'll get 20 in soon. So right now, 10 degrees of flaps going in, bit of forward trim. Let's get the RPM up because we're losing too much power. We're looking at around about 1500 RPM. So just keeping the mindful that there is rock work down there. We are going to fly around the mountains. And we're going to follow the ocean line in. And the 172, I think I'm going to give this slightly bit more power, roughly about 1600. but monitoring that speed to make sure it doesn't go below 70 and not above 73 knots. If we start losing power, just get that bit more increase. We've got a 16 knot wind, and it's going to be a crosswind landing looking at this, guys. So it's going to be an interesting landing. So we're going below 70, so again, like I said, add more power. Just watch that wind because it's really bouncy on the aircraft. So as we're now approaching Lord Howe Airport, I'm actually going to cut just slightly over this land here. It's not the proper approach that you would doing, guys. It's just obviously I'm trying to make it interesting as possible. You can see a little bolt there, at the bottom left of the aircraft. So right now I'm going to give it a 20 degrees flaps. Bit of forward trim as the aircraft starts to pull back. As you can see, it's bouncing all over the aircraft, so it's going to be quite interesting, this one. Get a load more forward trim. I'm actually going to give this one maybe cut the RPM back and 30 degrees flap when I'm a bit further down. Get 30 degrees flaps now. Get more forward trim. Make sure that we're in. I've got to take into account we've got a tailwind now of 12 knots, so the wind has changed again. So that's just made the job slightly easier than a crosswind. So as we're coming in, we need to make sure that we don't lose too much speed in the Cessna 172. I am below the recommended speed in it. Get a lot more power so we don't start sinking. And the wind's changed again, so we've almost got a crosswind of 12 knots, so it is changing quite a lot around here. So we need to be very careful with this wind as we're coming in. Again, we still need to be losing. We're at 200 knots. Start aiming for the numbers. We're going to cut that power down to idle. Bit bouncy around here. Not centre line. The wind took us slightly, but I was already committed, so it's just a matter of controlling the aircraft. Let's get these brakes on to lose airspeed. So really bouncy landing coming in. So we are now taxiing to the cows, and welcome to Lord Howe. And for those that's been with us all the way throughout the journey, thank you very much and welcome back. So right now we're just taxiing back. For you guys that have just joined in, we've just done a sightseeing tour around Ball's Pyramid, they call it, and then we've done a bit of a tour around Lord Howe, and we're now coming back into Lord Howe Airfield. So we're just going by a Qantas link. I'm not going to follow the yellow taxi. I want to make sure I'm clear of that aircraft, which I clearly will be. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a guy clearly on his radio, not mindful of the aircraft, so we'll go around him. Not that you would in real life. you would make sure you get his attention. We're going to follow the taxi line. And then we're going to cut the grass for Lord Howe and save the cows over there doing it. So right now, you've got to remember, you've got to low throttle on grass, so you don't want to flick any stones up. So right now, I'm just having a quick look because the tyres are not very clear, because the grass on here is probably a bit too wide than what they would have it in real life. And the tyres are the anchor points, I presume, for the aircrafts. So, one mistake I should have done is, I should have made sure the flaps are up. So you don't, last thing you want to do is flick some stones up and hit the flaps. But let's get the throttle. Again, forgive me, I have to get 85% power on my Logitech to register 20% throttle. But I'm going to do it on this field because it's very hard, because I won't be pushing the aircraft in real life. It's just don't want to go by the yellow markers. That is the no entry zone for the aircraft. So what we'll do is we're gonna go on the next one. We'll go on this one on the right here. There we go. It's a bit hard to taxi when you don't see any markings. Not perfect, but almost in the middle. Cut the throttle straight down to idle. Let's get back to the cockpit. That's what you guys want. Put the parking brake on. Landing lights should have been on, but it doesn't matter. Not all of them have landing lights. Most of them just have taxi. Turn the taxi light off. Make sure the strobes are off. Pull the mixture out to shut down the engine. Clear the warning sign. Turn the nav lights off. Turn the beacon off. Turn the avionics off. Turn the master switch off, and then pull the key out the ignition. So, thank you for everyone who's been on this short trip of Lord Howe. If you're wanting any locations in your area of a sightseeing trip, please put in the comments. This is the second stream that I've done, so I am looking to improve each stream as I go along. So again, please put in the comments of anything that you are interested in, and thank you for viewing.